This video is probably going to piss some people off, but I believe that the truth needs to be told, and sometimes the truth is harsh. Hey there, everybody. My name is Javier here, coming to you live, Javier Blog 208 on YouTube. I am now uploading my videos on YouTube that I make on Facebook. I'm trying to add to my YouTube channel. I hope everybody's doing well. That's Javier's Blog 208 on YouTube. Today's video is going to be about Harry Sisson and the Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, I said the word. I said the daring word. The Trump derangement syndrome problem in the Democratic Party and why it's ultimately going to screw us in the long run. I understand very well that Harry Sisson is a darling boy of the left, a darling boy of Democrats, if you will. And personally, I'm going to be real, I'm not a fan of him. And the reason of why I'm not a fan of him, I'm going to get to in a moment. But first, I want to start out by reading a thread, or at least a little part of a thread that I had with somebody else. And this is just somebody this was a right-winger, a right-wing or conservative friend of mine that was coming at me with all these baseless accusations of things that I never said. And these baseless accusations of things that I never said, like, for example, oh, you're saying Trump is a racist, or Charlie Kirk is racist, or Charlie Kirk is fascist, or whatever, Trump is whatever. And all these accusations of me bashing Trump that literally don't exist. Like, I'm dead serious, they literally don't exist. I personally rarely talk about Trump. Like, I don't, every once in a while he'll do something which I strongly disagree with that I will speak out and condemn. But honestly, Trump to me, he's just in the background. He's just a noise in the background. Yes, he's the president of our country, but he's just a background noise. I don't pay much attention to him. As you well know, my big focus is the ground game. The ground game of winning over hearts and minds to our side. The ground game of actually speaking about left-wing ideals that I strongly believe in, such as healthcare, food stamps, LGBT rights, Black Lives Matter, things like that, immigration reform, things, gun reform, things like that, and the list goes on and on and on. My focus is on the ground game. My focus is on having debates, having conversations, and winning over hearts and minds, which, by the way, the Un-F America Tour, I think the name should be to take the F word out of it, but I don't like the F word in the name. But I deeply respect the Un-F America Tour that is doing exactly that. That's basically doing the left-wing version of Charlie Kirk's work, going out there and trying to win hearts and minds over to get them back to the Democratic side. This being said, Harry Sisson, and I'm going to say this respectfully, is not doing a good job at this. He's not doing a good job at this. I will get back to Harry Sisson in a minute, but first I want to get to this thread where I was being accused of things that I never said, and I want to just kind of address it a little bit. Okay, so this is what I write back to this person, and I will keep the person's name private. The first thing you accused me of was complaining about Trump, or whatever. I rarely say anything about Trump. I'll speak out against him here and there when he does things I strongly disagree with. But honestly, I think it's a waste of time to be bashing Trump as much as we are. And I stand by that. I think it's a waste of time to be bashing Trump as much as we are. Trump is a fading figure who will be gone soon. The next generation of right-wingers need to be stopped. Democrats need to focus more on the ground game of winning over hearts and minds. That's what I'm actively trying to work at. Face it, dude. You guys are right about something. A lot of Democrats really do have TDS, and it's working to our detriment. It's true. It's the truth. A lot of them, and then he writes, all us, the left is retarded. You guys, almost the left is retarded. We dislike people throwing out all these lies after this. Funny how we've proven a bunch of gibberish. I write back. A lot of them are, we are still the party of intelligence, intellectualism, and education, and compassion. And speaking out for the marginalized. We need to focus, double down, and triple down on these messages. If Democrats actually stuck to their policies they believe in, they would demolish Republicans every time. If we actually stuck to our policies, if we actually knew what we're fighting for and know what we believe in, we would demolish Republicans every single time. I made a post about Harry Sisson, and I know, and the wording is strong, but I'm going to be very real here. Someone on the left needs to say this. Harry Sisson's an idiot. I admire what he does, but he's not doing a good job at winning back over our generation. He is just another Democrat who's way too obsessed with Trump, calling Trump a pedophile instead of the actual ground game that will be required in 2028. The more Democrats continue to waste their energy on bashing Trump and calling him a pedophile, blindly hoping that he's on the Epstein files list, the more they're going to damn us all. And that's a big issue I see with Democrats. A lot of them are just praying and hoping and assuming that Trump is on the Epstein list and that he's a pedophile and all that. They really, 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 really want Trump to be on that list. And that's a reason why I personally have been really silent on the Epstein stuff. Because Democrats are way too obsessed with it. I'm being real here. They're way too obsessed with it. And that could backfire. I'm being real. That could backfire. Like, I'm smart enough to say that being far too obsessed with Epstein, like you're obsessed with it because you really, really want Trump to be on that list. Well, what if the files come out and a lot of your people are on that list too? And then what if the files come out and Trump is not on the list, but your people are on the list? At the end of the day, we really don't know. And it's a mystery that, I guess, if you will, puzzles us all. And we really don't know about it. But I also write in this thread, serious question, do you notice how silent I personally am on the Epstein stuff? I feel like I have to rise above most Democrats today who are so desperate to see Trump on the Epstein list. Until I see solid proof, I have very little to say about that, if anything. Democrats waste too much time attacking Trump personally and are doing it to their own detriment. Trump is a fading figure, way too focused on the actual, way too few are focused on the actual ground game of winning over hearts and minds. And it's something I do, and before I get more deeper into before I dive deeper into Harry Sisson himself, this is something that I want to warn about. Like, I really want to warn Democrats about. And it's the fact that the right at this moment has already trained the next generation of young right-wing leaders. They've already trained, and they have an army all across the country of particularly young men of the next generation of right-wing voters and right-wing leaders and right-wing thinkers. And on our side, we're really disorganized. We don't have that ground game set. We're trying. Some of us are trying. Like the NF America tour, they're trying. And I admire that. We need to rebuild our own ground game because at the end of the day, we need to win these people back over. And we need to speak to them, talk to them, debate with them, etc. to win them back over to our side. Because the right wing, through grifters like Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, the late Charlie Kirk, R.I.P., Jordan Peterson, people like these people, who else? Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, I can go down the name of list. They've done a solid job at training the next generation of right-wingers, right-wing voters, right-wing leaders, right-wing thinkers, etc. They've done a very solid job at training so many Gen Z, particularly Gen Z men, of being the next generation of right-wing thinkers and leaders and all that stuff, and voters, etc., etc. And it's very, very, very scary. They've done a very solid job at it. And at the end of the day, we need to combat this to save our future generations from this. And it's very frightening. And the obsession with hating Trump, who's going to be out in 2 years, the obsession with hating Trump, bashing Trump, attacking Trump, it's not going to go anywhere. This being said, let's talk about Harry Sisson. I know this is the part you were all waiting for. Harry Sisson, I'm looking at his videos. I'm looking at his videos and his blogs and whatever. All of it's about Trump. This is not a good look. It's Trump, 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 Trump. Dude. And it's like, honestly, I expect better from this dude. This is embarrassing. This is really, really embarrassing. And it's no wonder us Democrats are being painted as being like the opposite of, oh, if Trump says this, then we're all going to do the opposite, et cetera, et cetera. And why we're being made fun of all the time. This is not a winning strategy. Let's look. Sir Harry Sisson, loudmouth liberal, not a good look for us, honestly. Trump, let's see, everything's just about Trump, 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 okay, Bill Clinton, Trump again, Trump, 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 Trump. How many times am I going to read the name Trump in all of his videos? Trump, Trump, assaulting girl, Trump deletes, major absence on Trump and crimes, Trump. I'm going to be real, guys. This is embarrassing. Harry Sisson is just, I'm going to be real. I hate to say it. I'm telling you the truth. Trump, 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 Trump. Oh, Trump posted about me on social media. Trump. I'm going to be real. Harry Sisson is not the right, he's not the right image for Democrats. He's not the right one. He's just not. Harry Sisson is a loudmouth liberal. That's what he is. A Trump-bashing, loudmouth liberal. And I don't know if he's sincere. There's theories he might be getting paid by the DNC to do this. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. I don't know if that's the truth or not. But I used to admire him. I am now looking at this and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that this is the face of left-leaning young men. This is the face. Harry Sisson is now the face of left-leaning young men. And it's embarrassing. Trump. Harry Sisson is the face of left-leaning young men. And it's embarrassing. It's bad for us. And it explains to me why so many it's partly explains to me, and I understand there's many other factors, it partly explains to me why so many young men are moving right wing. It's sad. It's, first of all, the whole idea that so many young men are moving right wing is sad. It's sad. But I look at this and I look at Harry Sisson and as the face of the left wing young Gen Z man, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That's the truth. It's embarrassing. He's a loudmouth liberal who's bashing Trump every other video. He always starts out a video, Donald Trump. And that's not winning over hearts and minds. I don't want him to be the face of the liberal Gen Z young man. I don't want him to be the face of the liberal Gen Z young man. That's just the truth. It is not a good look for us. We need to be focused on the ground game. That's just the truth. We have, like I said in the beginning of my video, if you just give me 1 second, we have intelligence on our side. We have education and compassion on our side. We speak out for the marginalized. When we speak out for health care, we speak out for, policies to help poor people. for Black Lives Matter and LGBT rights. We have intellectualism and intelligence and education and compassion on our side. All right, we have education on our side. And at the end of the day, we need to utilize everything that we have to try to win back over our generation. And Harry Sisson going on video bashing Trump every day is not the answer to it. And it's not just Harry Sisson. I'm gonna be real here. David Pakman, who I respect. I mean, honestly, I've watched David Pakman for a long time. I have a lot of respect for him. And unfortunately, I've called him out on this too on a separate video. He talks a lot about Trump too, a little bit too much. It's just Trump. I mean, like, come on. And David Pakman is smart. Like David Pakman is somebody I expect better from. Like, I expect a lot better from David Pakman because David Pakman is extremely intelligent. He's got a high IQ. And I expect better from him. I expect, and Harry Sisson, I don't know about. I don't really view him in a very good light. I expect so much better from David Pakman. And honestly, I expect better from Democrats as a whole. Democrats as a whole. We need to do better. We need to do better. And we need to just focus on the ground game and focus on our values and the things that we believe in and the things we're fighting for, which is so many things. Long list of things. Anyways, folks, that's my little talk for right now. Hope everybody's doing well. And this is Javier here, tuning out. And just in case I need to remind you, as I've said in many, many of my videos, things we're fighting for health care for all. We're fighting to make sure that that people who are poor will always have access to services. We're fighting for paid family leave. We're fighting for full LGBT rights. We're fighting for the recognition that Black life does matter. We're fighting for education. We're fighting for universal child care, for everybody to have access to child care. We're fighting for gun reform because we have an epidemic of mass shootings in our country, and that's not slowing down, that's getting worse. We're fighting for comprehensive immigration reform, to reform our immigration system to make it easier to give people a pathway to citizenship in our country. And make it easier for struggling migrants coming here trying to find better lives to have that opportunity. We're fighting for environmental policies and renewable energy and all this stuff. Just a few of many examples. We're fighting for fair wages, making sure everybody has a fair minimum wage. We're fighting for a lot of things, a lot of these things like this. And we need to keep fighting for it. Because once we actually speak out about our values and about our policies and about the things we believe and about the things we actually want, that's what's going to win over hearts and minds. And that's what's going to put Republicans to shame. And that's what's going to win us elections. And it doesn't matter which candidate, whether it's governor or mayor, governor, or presidential candidate, they need to be focused on our policies, affordable housing, making things affordable again, all these things. They need to be focused on all this stuff and showing our values and showing what we stand for as center left, as a center left and bringing us to being a center left country where we stand for everybody and we stand for all people and all diversities of America and everything. And we just need to fight for our values and show people our values. And not waste our time bashing Trump every day because Trump is background noise as far as I'm concerned. He's background noise. The right has created a whole ground game of young people already. They've already trained the next generation. And we need to do the same, and we need to win over hearts and minds, and we need to continue to speak up for what we believe. And that's my take on it. Thank you guys for watching. And if you agree, disagree, whatever, leave it all in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.